Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a really fascinating approach to a feeling we all experience, but let's be honest, we rarely admit to: stinginess. We all know it, right? That tight, kind of grasping sensation in your chest when you just don't want to share. Maybe it's your time, your hard-earned resources, or even just taking the credit for a job well done. It leaves us feeling totally closed off and depleted. But what if I told you that you could completely rewire that instinct? In this session, we're going to explore exactly how to transform that heavy feeling of stinginess in our daily lives into this profound sense of abundance. And we're going to do it using incredibly simple, minimalistic micro-meditations drawn straight from classic Eastern philosophy. Let's get right into it. Okay, so let's kick things off with this profound quote from the Bodhichitta. Now, this is a foundational text on the path of compassion, and it teaches that even the absolute smallest offering, like sharing a meager, super simple meal that maybe only staves off hunger for half a day, creates immense positive energy if the intention behind it is pure. Society already reveres people who do these small acts of kindness, for sure, but the deeper wisdom here? It points out that the physical scale of the gift is actually almost irrelevant. What truly matters is the scale of the heart.
Section 1. Redefining True Generosity.
You know, we so often trap ourselves into thinking we need to be super wealthy or maybe retired with endless free time just to be truly generous. But we really need to break down mundane, material giving versus mindful giving. Material giving is the trap we usually fall into. It focuses on the sheer size of the donation, the social reputation it brings, and the physical items actually changing hands. Ultimately, it's kind of focused on the ego. Mindful giving, on the other hand, is an entirely different practice. It's driven by a vast, sincere intention to simply free others from suffering. It's this internal state of wishing well for others, completely decoupled from your bank account. So, the absolutely crucial takeaway here is that true generosity does not require grand, sweeping gestures. It literally just requires a shift in your mindset. Think about a time when you, say, held the door for a stranger or gave someone a passing smile just to brighten their day. That felt good, didn't it? When you give with a genuine wish to benefit someone else with zero expectation for a reward, that tiny offering becomes a boundless ocean of merit. You're cultivating a rich mind rather than just opening up a rich wallet. Section 2. Overcoming workplace stinginess. So how does this actually play out in the real world? Let's look at a place where resource scarcity, stress, and, frankly, stinginess often hit the absolute hardest: the modern workplace. It's an environment where we're practically trained to hoard our time and our knowledge. And let's be real, when you're stressed out and overworked, sharing credit or taking on extra work is incredibly hard. But you can practice profound generosity at work right now without spending a single dime. It starts by simply offering a comforting word or maybe just a warm smile to a stressed-out colleague. If someone asks a question and you can see they're confused, just take a breath. Offer a little bit of guidance instead of just brushing them off. Or willingly share the burden of a heavy workload without immediately running to get credit from the boss. By treating your everyday interactions as opportunities to give, you literally transform a sterile, high-pressure office into a training ground for compassion. Section 3. Daily micro-meditation practices. But hey, we don't even have to wait for an interaction with a coworker to practice this. We can take this even further and transform our most mundane, private, daily habits into a continuous, minimalist loop of compassion. And we do this through micro-meditations. Step 1. In the morning, when you're putting on your coat or your sweater, simply pause and silently think, "May all beings find warmth." Step 2. When you sit down to eat your lunch, just take a really brief moment before taking that first bite and think, "May all beings be satisfied." By attaching these mental mantras to simple everyday actions like dressing or eating, we're actively cultivating warm thoughts. We shift our psychology from being a passive consumer of goods to an active benefactor of the world, and that expands our capacity to give throughout the entire day. Now, of course, it's not always peaceful and easy. Friction in life is just inevitable. So what happens when we encounter a coworker who is actively hoarding resources and flat out refusing to help? Or actually, perhaps even more importantly, what do we do when we notice that tight, grasping feeling rising up within our own minds? Well, instead of getting angry or resentful when faced with someone else's stinginess, we can use their behavior as a trigger. We can turn the interaction completely upside down into a private meditation. Just silently recite this reframing mantra: "May my own stinginess dissolve, may they awaken to compassion." By doing this, you are instantly protecting your own peace, you're neutralizing your own greed, and you're actually generating goodwill for someone who is clearly struggling with a closed heart. It's a real game changer. And what about when we catch ourselves hesitating to share our own time or resources? When we feel that familiar reluctance pulling at us, we really have to recognize that holding on to things tightly just leads to decay. Hoarding creates this heavy, fearful mind that's always worried about losing what it has. But sharing, even just slightly, builds lasting, incorruptible joy. Think of it like this. If you grip it, you lose it to decay. But if you share it, you create an internal positive imprint on your own mind. Section 4. Dedicating merit for all. Okay, so we've talked about generating these micro moments of generosity and how to reframe our negative interactions. But what exactly do we do with the positive energy, the merit we've just created through these actions? We have to dedicate it. The source text gives us a truly beautiful framework for this final step. It defines merit not as a personal achievement or some spiritual trophy to hold on to and brag about. I mean, if we hoard the good energy we create, we're basically just practicing a brand new spiritual form of stinginess. Instead, merit is a light that must be actively dedicated to all beings so they can find relief, wisdom, and the ultimate path to awakening. It's like a candle. It doesn't lose its flame by lighting another candle. Your positive actions grow infinitely when you mentally offer the results to the rest of the world.
As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with this final thought. If true abundance comes entirely from your intention, and a single grain of rice, or a single kind word, or even a silently wished mantra holds infinite compassion, what are you going to choose to share with the world today? Will you hold tightly to what you have, or will you let your light flow outwards? Ultimately, the choice is entirely in your mind.